Greetings. Hi, folks. This is Ron, alias Rick, alias Doc Kephart, coming to you from Florida from the class of 1963. I had intended to be with y'all today, but unfortunately, in the summertime, I seem to be plagued by bad luck, and in this case, my car came down with some expensive repairs that, combined with the price of the gasoline these days, kept me from coming up. It was a kind of a last-minute deal. But anyway, I thought that I would send you a message, this message here, and so that I can say hello and everything, and catch you up a little bit on what I'm doing or what I've been doing. My wife and I are getting ready for a trip to South America, and in fact, yesterday we had our immunizations for I don't know how many different kinds of bugs that we might be finding in French Guiana. So that's kind of what we're doing, and next week I start teaching a class also. So our children, Tommy and Amy. Amy has her BS in biology. She works at the Jacksonville Zoo with the bats and the birds. She gets to give the vampire bats their little saucers of pig blood every day, so she's enjoying that. Tommy has taken a lot of BS with his 15 years or so in the Marine Corps now. He's a gunnery sergeant, though, now, so he can give back just about as much BS as he gets most of the time, I reckon. They were just up here a couple of, about a week or two ago, and let us know that they're expecting, or he and his wife, I should say, are expecting our first grandchild, so we're kind of looking forward to that. And I'd like to take this opportunity to ask you to please not to vote for John McCain, because I'd just as soon Tommy not have to go to Iraq. And I also wouldn't mind if our grandchild didn't have to go to Iraq either. While Tommy was up here, he and I went to see the latest Indiana Jones movie, which we enjoyed a lot. And so that's something. I guess one of the things that we would do, you know, if we were able to get together, is to share some of the twists and turns that our lives have taken over the years since South High. And one of the main things, I guess, that I might mention, you know, just to try to get this thing, keep this thing within a manageable length, is that, as you remember, I was a runner, but after I got to college, after I was in college for about 2 years at William and Mary, I developed a bad back, and I had to pretty much stop running, although I did manage to do a little bit still for a while. But I had to put my energy into other things, so eventually I went into the Peace Corps, and then eventually also I went and became a professor of anthropology, and which I'm doing now at the University of North Florida here. And I also, in looking for other ways to spend my energy, the energy that I would have used in other things, I became interested in old-time music. And when I say old-time music, I mean the kind of music that people played up in the mountains back in the 1920s and 1930s on guitar. So I began learning guitar a little bit about 40 years ago, and then I started learning banjo a little bit. Lately I've even been trying to learn a few fiddle tunes on the fiddle. But I thought I'd share with you a tune on the banjo that I've been playing for a long time. I hope I can play it half decent here. This is a 5-string banjo, copy of a 1920s era, but it's not a real antique. It's a copy of a 1920s era Vega Fairbanks banjo. I learned this tune, I think, way back in probably in elementary school, back in the days when we used to actually do folk songs and things in elementary school. I don't know if they do that anymore so much, but when I learned it, it was called Buffalo Gals, and I think you'll recognize it probably. Now the thing about this tune is, I can't talk while I play, so I'll stop. The thing about this tune that's interesting for us is that after I learned to play Buffalo Gals, I started running into people who played the same tune, but they called it other names. I found out that it's Sometimes it's called Alabama Gals, you know, Alabama Gals, won't you come out tonight, and so on. And then also sometimes, later on, I found out that it's sometimes called Roundtown Gals. So, you know. And then about a year and a half ago, I was at a banjo workshop, and I met an old guy from Cabin John, Maryland, who played it. And he said, "Do you know what it's called?" And we said, "Well, we think so, but what do you call it?" He said, "It's called Funkstown Gals. Funkstown Gals, won't you come out tonight? Come out tonight." So apparently the tune is about the gals that are anywhere that you aren't. So, you know, over the hill or down the road. I asked him, I said, "Is that the Funkstown that's over the hill from Hagerstown?" And he said, "Yep, that's the one." So probably if you're in Funkstown, you have to call it something else. Maybe Hagerstown Gals or Keedysville Gals or Boonesboro Gals or something like that. But apparently the tune just is always the gals from someplace else. So I'll just run through it again real quick for you here. That's it. So hope to see you all sometime soon. I hope you're enjoying the reunion, enjoying yourselves, and I'll keep Dick posted on my travels, and in case I get to come up maybe later on in the summer after classes are over, and maybe I'll be able to see some of you then. Take care.